Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for coming on tonight to the podcast show. And we are on David's crotch. Now we're back up in
What's up,
David's lap.
guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good.
Hey,
Sorry, I
guys.
dropped my phone.
No worries, man. Thank y'all for joining tonight for OutKast Podcast Radio. I'm your host, Chris O'Toole, and this is my co host, Dave Keller. And we are going to have a special guest tonight. She is awesome. She's a psychic medium. Her name is Tarot Illuminae Brooke Bauer. So hopefully she should be coming on pretty soon. Hopefully she's backstage and all that. But until then, how you been, Dave?
Yeah, I've been really good, Chris. I'm out here in South Carolina for the state fair. We've been out here for about a week and a half now and doing well. I'm out here with Jimmy and the crew, and we're just working every day. So we're getting everything going. I wish we were working on the Mr. Mustachio's gourmet snacks, but I'm out here actually for Auto Glass helping some friends, making some things happen. And but I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, you look familiar. We know you." Well, I'm like, "Oh yeah. You might know me from this or that." And they're like, "No, you're Mr. Mustachio." So I love it. All you guys out there in the country and the world that see me in all those booths and at the fairs, festivals, and yeah, that's right. It's me, and I'm having fun, enjoying life, kicking back, and you know, making it every day different, right?
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Let me tell you, like Mr. Mustachio's gourmet snacks, like the beef jerky, is like
oh yeah,
superb. I'm telling you, man. It's like it's so good. You want to slap your mama good, like totally. So I hope one
oh
day
yeah.
y'all will experience our beef jerky. It's
Oh, they
premium
will.
beef, and yeah, and I mean it's great. The lemon
Oh
pepper
yeah,
is just like out of sight. It's dope. So like the straight whiskey
yeah. I
is
was gonna say,
pretty much
yeah.
on point. Yeah,
Straight whiskey is my favorite. That's my favorite blend. It's an
yeah.
amazing blend, but I'm actually working on a very, very new secret sauce. So I'm coming out with a sauce line next. So now that we
S-
have the jerky done, now
Right
that we
on.
have the pickle pulla sausages, meat sticks, we have all the. I have my own cheese puffs. Chris and I have our own cheese puff line, the Mr. Mustachio's flavored cheese puffs. What else do we have? We have the freeze dried candies and
Yep.
all the fruits, the nuts, the
And
craziness, and now. Yep, you guys hear it from me first. The Mr. Mustachio haunted sauce line. So we have a sauce line coming to you guys soon. Can't wait for y'all to try it.
yeah, man. I mean, it's just like the beef jerky just melts in your mouth. Like it's just so premium grade. I really love it. I love it a lot. And
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, I mean it's great. I don't know if you know, but Dave, I've been pretty much working on some different types of seasoning. So I want to start, doing a little bit of making my own creation because I'm always
But
making
yeah,
something up. Like
I mean that's what it's about, right?
no,
You think about
absolutely, absolutely,
yeah. I mean, everybody's got different flavors. Now, think about it. Everybody has different cultures, creations, nonsense, or areas they grew up in. I didn't even know what carne asada was until I started going to the Florida State Fair. And, even all those flavors that I would never have, like churro, or anything like that. I'm used to buffalo style foods, or
right,
I'm even well cultured with Indian foods, the tandoori chickens and all the different flavors, Matlock black pepper versus regular black pepper.
right.
To that extent, even Himalayan salts that are different. But everywhere we go, every culture is different. Even how they start their barbecue sauce is a little different than how I do mine. And when I told somebody that I started mine with root beer, they said to me, "What? Root beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my favorite sauce comes from root beer." Oh yeah, it's crazy.
No, I mean it is crazy. I
Yeah.
mean it's totally crazy and so forth. Like my thing is I love cheese, and so um, yeah, I used to, and
Mr. Cheese himself.
I haven't done it in a long time. I really want to do it again. Is
Like, yeah.
I used to smoke cheese, okay, not smoking crack because I found out, that that's what that means here in the South. Like when
Oh,
you smoke,
sugar. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
know that either.
we're talking about actual cheese. Like, we're talking like mild cheddar, cheddars, Goudas,
Right? Yeah.
Asiago, Havarti, or Haravarti. Smoking cheeses are something that we've been talking about now. I think that's a great idea that you have. And I mean, absolutely.
Hey
Why
man,
not? I mean,
blocks of it. I used to sell blocks of like pepper jack, especially sharp white cheddar. Hey, Brooke, what's going
Yeah, let's
on?
say hi to Brooke real
What's
quick.
up?
Hi, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke,
All
how you
right.
doing? Looking fabulous tonight.
Thank you. I have
Yeah,
no
thanks for
idea what we're
joining us.
doing here. I'm just here, I guess. What are we just talking like we usually do?
Yeah, okay. So here we go and we talk about, different topics and all that, but also, you have a personal experience, especially at Bay Oaks Harbor. I've talked about it before, here live stream, previously about the different things that's happened there. And so um how Brooke and I met, why don't you tell him how we met?
Hang on. Sorry. Oh, damn. Okay. Damn, my computer's dead. All right.
It's
So
okay.
her and I met. It's actually really strange. I had just moved into Bay Oaks Harbor, and when we moved in, it was like the only place that we could find at the time. So it was kind of like we didn't really have a choice, So we moved in, and I could feel something was like really off about the place. It's almost like when you came around. Do you know where Bay Oaks Harbor is? Anybody?
Uh, no,
So
he's
I don't.
actually no. He's actually from
Okay.
New York. So
Uh,
most of the people who see us, they're neither most likely East Coast. We do have people who are like Central. But yeah, you can explain to them about Bay Oaks Harbor.
Okay. So, I mean, just driving to Bay Oaks Harbor, when you get on, Tri-City Beach Road, you hit this curve, right? Once you hit that curve, I always said it's like your equilibrium gets thrown off. It's like you enter
Yes.
a whole different world, and it's so heavy you can feel it. Well, the house that I moved into was brand new. Nobody else lived there before us or anything like that. And I remember telling my mom, okay, this house is going to be haunted or something. I told her something like that. Well, I was doing some research online and about the land that we lived on and anything that I could find. Well, the only thing that I could find, I found her on TikTok, and I reached out. I didn't think she was going to respond, but she did. And turns out she lived just 3 houses down from where I had moved.
I
So,
I know, and that's like crazy because of the whole odds, of us talking and speaking and knowing that, when I found out where you lived, it was like right a few doors down from where I used to live.
yeah,
That's insane because it's not like it's a decent sized community, but it's not huge. It's not like incredibly small,
right.
So it's like, was there a reason why? Was this did something subconsciously say, hey, you know what, reach out to this person?
Well,
We'll
because
never.
I just wanted to know any information that I could find. Like if anybody else knew anything about the area, um, I could feel something was off, but I'm a firm believer that sometimes, the paranormal kind of seeks you out, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yes.
No, that definitely makes sense. You kind of find yourself in those situations and they're just there, or they lure you in, or they try to say, hey, find us.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like we were led there. Yep.
Yeah.
And we
That's
lived
very
there
interesting.
for what was it, 3 years? Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
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 Damn, it's been that long. Wow. It's crazy.
3 years
That's
goes by
crazy.
quick.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, and we have done some like really cool like frequency research and gotten some really awesome results back.
We did. Yeah.
it's like it was pretty insane because like Brooke, I haven't went through all of those, because I've just been incredibly busy, but I did start going through them a few days ago, and there were things that I didn't even pick up, just like looking at it like, twice, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And there was like a remark that was actually made to you, and I was just like, dude, that's crazy. It was like
Did you see
it,
that EVP where the I got called a punta?
yeah,
Oh,
they were,
crap.
dude, they hardcore, man. They're like
Where
hardcore,
were you?
like dogging
Where
her
were
all
you
the
both?
time
I was
over
in my
there.
room and I was live on TikTok.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
And so that it's on my
yeah.
TikTok, the video, the EVP, but
We'll have to
it
check
was
that out then.
it
Maybe
was like
log in later.
Yeah.
I
So
saw
it
some
was like
clips
from the
earlier.
get-go. I
Oh,
mean, we
okay.
were always getting stuff.
Yeah, I saw some clips earlier that Chris put together for like an intro. So I was kind of curious to what it was because it was hard to keep up with the flow, not knowing what it was. But now
Right.
that makes more sense. You guys did your own thing. And okay, awesome, awesome. How
Yeah.
did it go? Other than being called names, of course, how did it go?
It was, you know, it was heavy. It was
Yeah.
always really heavy. And it was always me trying to, being the type of person that I am that can pick up on energies easily. It was exhausting. I'll just put it to that. But it feels so much lighter now that we moved. But it was just a constant battle. You can never let your guard down, really.
Yeah. No, that's well,
No,
it's
no,
interesting. It's
absolutely.
very intriguing.
Yeah, it was a adventure, to say the least.
And and like we have like we really had like really great ideas what we wanted to do like with the content and everything, but we just could not get it together. And I really do believe that there was something that was like holding us from doing that, you know. And
Well, every
then we
time
when
it
we were
was, yeah, every time you were supposed to come over, I would lose my. It's like I was getting ready and I would like lose
yeah
something every 5 freaking minutes, dude. Or it was something on your end or my end. It was
yeah,
just,
or I would get
Okay.
like
Well,
extremely tired, like oh like
dude,
like I
speaking
was
of,
like I ran a marathon,
do
it
you
was
remember
weird.
that time we were in my garage and we were doing that Estes method? For the first time ever. It was like
Yes,
noon,
that
and we took, I don't know what, we took a shot of vodka with pickle juice, and we had like a
yeah.
shot, whatever. I know I'm a bartender, so for me that's like
oh yeah, that's the norm.
sort of
Yep.
normal, I guess. Not anymore, but I quit drinking. But her and I took a shot of vodka and we're like, yeah, let's do Estes method in the garage. And we did. And I just watched those videos like yesterday, actually. And we were zapped. We were getting completely zapped. You were falling asleep. I was falling asleep. And it just looked like something out of a damn
Maybe they
Twilight.
were taking your energy away from you.
Yeah. And her and I were both like, yeah,
That's exactly what
like
it was
talking
too.
to each other, just
Oh,
totally
it's
zapped.
crazy. No, definitely interesting. I mean, whenever you're doing anything
It
paranormal
messed
or
me up
working with
for
the
like a
paranormal or
few
dealing with it,
weeks. I'll tell you that.
yeah, did it mess you up? I was gonna say it usually drains you. It drains your energy. It drains. So they have this grounding stone. I don't know if you guys know about grounding
Yeah,
stones.
yeah, I do.
I don't really know too much about grounding stones, but I learned about them at a very, maybe like a mid to 20s
Me,
age. Somebody was like,
that's
"Hey,
just
this is a
where completely drains me.
yeah." So if you have a grounding stone and you're standing on it or stepping on it or touching it, it doesn't drain the energy that you have out of you. For some reason, it
Interesting.
neutralizes you.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well, bait has uh,
Is it me or is it you, Chris?
I'm not sure on that one.
it's the it's just the streaming that happens with StreamYard,
Yeah,
especially
dude.
like
I
I don't know, it
I quit
hates
using.
browsers, but it works on one. Like I don't understand.
They turned into Max Headroom
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
80s.
it's just and also too, it's like where it's being connected up. Yeah, but at the same time too, like I think where the hot spot is too is like always in a rural area, so you
Yeah.
know that's why it just you know um does what it does and so forth. But yeah, like Bay Oaks Harbor has like a dark history. I mean, all the way to
Are
like
we live?
the 1800s.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
back
we're live.
farther
I'm
than
sitting here
that.
vaping. Oh, hey.
Oh, you're
I'm
okay. You
sitting
can
here
vape.
vaping and everything. You guys could have told me something.
Oh, I thought you knew you were live, so that's
Well,
not okay.
No.
So
But
yeah,
hey,
so we're here, we're
oh
live.
yeah,
We have a pretty good audience listening to us today. Well, now that you know you're live, say hi
yeah.
everybody. Hi everybody.
hello, everybody.
Hey
I don't
guys,
see.
see,
Yep.
Oh, here. Okay.
thank you everyone for showing up tonight. Listen to our podcast. Sorry, Brooke. I thought you knew that we were
Yeah, I
live.
thought you knew too, Brooke. Yeah,
Like,
you're
I'll
coming
leave
on
it to
live.
Chris
I
over
was like,
there to like put me
Well,
on
you
the
missed the
spot.
intro. Yeah, before the intro room, we were in the green room, all of us. We were just talking, saying hi, and trying to get ready and get logged on. And you weren't in yet, and we were trying to make sure
Okay.
you had the things you need to go live. But yeah, you came on a little later.
All right. Well, we're here for it. I'm here for it.
Well, welcome again.
Chris is
Yeah,
glitching.
Chris,
yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
we're
you're
fine.
glitching a
It's
little
Is
yeah,
bit,
it
he's
but
your
glitching.
Timu Wi-Fi? Is your Wi-Fi
Yeah,
being Timu?
mine should be good. Like, well, I mean, it does mess up every now and then. It is Comcast, so you know,
yeah.
it's been
Well, we do the best we
it's
can.
been good so far, but yeah. But
So,
I
what
mean,
other
my place
projects
is
have you
haunted,
two been
so who
working on?
knows? I mean, I heard country. Like in the past, like we worked together, just like we were trying to like do like some like paranormal content, like going to different
All right.
places, in Baytown and all that. And yeah, and because there's interesting places here. There's a lot of history. I like to hear residual history. I mean residual energy because you can hear, history comes alive, you know what I'm saying, through the Havlin Nicola, which is a device. It's basically a souped up spirit box that works on brainwave frequencies. And, so you get a greater response, but also, too, it's like you can hear yourself, as you're
Come
saying
through
it
the
because it comes
box.
out of the box. Yeah, it's like so weird. But yeah, it's really cool. And so when you go to different locations where there's energy, you can hear a story, so and if you have a creative imagination, you can put these words together, like when you do a playback, and then you can, really see like what they're saying,
That's
and
the
it's
only way
just
for me. Like you taught me how to do that. It's like you always go back over the footage, record everything because chances are you missed a whole lot just
oh
from
Yeah.
yeah.
listening to it live.
Oh yeah, because like in real time, we 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 th- we're really trying to hear something, and then we do hear something, but then we ignore the rest. So when you do a playback, you hear those little subtle things that you didn't hear, you
Right.
know. And
Yep.
sometimes that stuff is like really scary because you're like, "Whoa!" Like I
Dude,
wasn't
Yeah. Did I
really
really hear
scariest
that? Or yeah.
thing, the scariest thing we ever did, I swear to this day, was that one night we went to the marina and we saw
Oh yeah, yeah.
stuff running. I felt
Yes.
so bad.
Yeah, so we went to the Baytown Water District. Now I think I don't know what it's called now, but now they
Bailey
have like the
Marina.
Hyatt Regency Hotel there, and they have O'Neill's and everything. Well, over behind the Hyatt Regency, but like on the side there is like this was a gazebo, right? It's a gazebo. And so in this like gazebo, supposedly this is where the Balin orphanage, neither the the graves are or
Potentially
where
the
the orphanage
cemetery
was.
or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a really small children's cemetery, and there's no tombstones or anything like that. But there's a lot of activity there because it's right there by the water, and a lot of history was made like in between that waterway. Because like there's a parking lot when you first come in. At one time, that parking lot was actually a canal, and that's where they built the first boat for the Confederate naval, for the Civil War and
but
all
see
that.
all
So,
these places like they tie into Bay Oaks quite literally.
oh yeah, and then like
Oh,
even
okay.
even going deep down further in the history, there's there's several connections between like Baytown, Goose Creek, to Galveston, the same people that the connection to Austin, and so it's really interesting, and it's like I didn't expect to how we can say jump into the rabbit hole because you really do. Am I right, Brooke? It's like it is a rabbit hole. Like when,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hard
and
left.
it's just
Is it a rabbit hole
yeah.
after the shot or before the shot?
Oh, it's like look, man. It's like when you peel off a layer of an onion, this just
Yep.
never stops because it got to the point where it got really dark, like with the research, really dark.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and on Katrina, spiritual medium, she was the one who went into detail, and this is when I started doing the research, and she was like spot on, like spot on. And I'm not saying that the historical, documentation physically says it, directly says this happened. But what she said and the lack of knowledge that she doesn't have when it comes to history, especially in this area because she's not from here, and I mean, she was right on. I mean, that could have possibly happened. If somebody says they had access to children, to do horrible things to children, you know, and this person, and she names this person who it is,
Right.
and then come to find out when I'm looking and doing the research, and they opened the first school in Baytown, then he had access to children,
Oh yeah, lots of
easy
children.
access to children. But then it got even worse going in the rabbit hole, because it wasn't just only like the orphan children. So, it was the slave children, or whoever called the brown children. So I don't know if that was like Hispanic children, Native Americans, or whatever, but you know, they kept basically referring to that they were hung, like these children were hung in trees.
Hmm.
And I thought it was odd. And then I had a friend who came to came to that house only once, and for 3 years she had nothing but regular dreams about this house. And she even mentioned that in her dream there were children hanging from trees, like further down.
That's
Like,
horrible.
yeah, but there's no documentation this shows. But
Yeah.
but what I picked up shows something totally different. Even at the cemetery on Ferry Road, right down the road from my house,
I
and
was
all
gonna
that.
tell.
It's probably one of the most haunted cemeteries here in Baytown, especially the history of satanic rituals that have taken place there, supposedly. Um, just like over there, that energy is really, really odd, and there's a good sum of people who
Is
are
that the one we
buried.
went to together? The mosquitoes were really bad though that night, and it was
Oh,
like the graves were off in the woods.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, that one was actually Lynchburg Cemetery.
Okay. Okay.
Lynchburg Cemetery.
Lynchburg Cemetery.
All
Yeah,
right.
because there was a town called Lynchburg. Hey Quincy, how's it going, man? There was a town called Lynchburg. It no longer exists. The only town that exists is the cemetery of Lynchburg. So
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it's because
you're
it's one
right.
of the top haunted cemeteries in the country. I mean, I've heard the name Lynchburg Cemetery, just like you've heard Delaware Cemetery, out of like the Buffalo area. There's a lot of paranormal activity all over the country, of course, don't get me wrong, but a lot of bad stuff happen in certain places that just don't go away. And when you're
Right.
looking at the research to say, hey, where's a good place to go do a haunt next? Or, hey, where's a good place to get together as a group and just, learn how to use some equipment? Most people choose a cemetery.
Hey, Veronica.
Hey Monica, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for
Um,
joining us.
yeah, the cemetery that we went to, that was crazy. That was really
Do you
that was
remember we
a
kept
crazy time.
seeing like it was like 2 weeks after we went there, and both you and
Uh,
I finally got on the phone together, and you're like, dude, what? Ever since we went there, I keep seeing like these bright flashes of light, like, and I kept seeing them too, and we were both like, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was weird. It was like a flash of light, like it
It's
was a
like you almost should
vortex.
miss it. It's so
Yeah,
fast. It's like you almost, when you see it, you feel like, okay, I should have
yeah,
that.
yeah, and I think we even had it on video or whatever, and you can just see the point where it flashes. And but I mean, that's all we could capture was that, and it
Like
was
the,
just it was the light, and it wasn't the light source. It was just the light. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But no, that was pretty insane. But I just always had a weird feeling after we got back from over there.
Me
And
too. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if, because that's when things started to get like heavier for
oh yeah,
me.
yeah. Yeah, and so the reason why we went to this cemetery is because there are two. major supposedly spirits, dark spirits that roam there. One is named TB Gillard. The other one is named Benjamin Roper. And Benjamin Roper was an overseer for both of the plantations, for Belle Prairie, but also too for Evergreen, because they were side by side from each other. And he was a very mean man. He was very sadistic, and he did not like slaves whatsoever. And there's documentation that he has written to Asheville Smith, that is archived at the University of Texas, stating how, like, he had no regard for for the slaves, and he didn't have a problem killing one, and he stabbed one, I guess with a 6-inch blade, and he didn't think it was that bad. He's like, I don't know why he's bleeding out, but when he gets, I'm gonna take him to the doctor, and when he comes back, then I'm gonna, like, give him like 70 lashings. I'm like, damn, like this dude
Sorry.
is.
Wasn't he trying to bargain with
What he was
in
trying to do.
letters?
Okay, so he was the overseer, and then I don't know what exactly happened between him and Asheville Smith. I think there was, a misunderstanding, or I don't know. But what I do know is that he quit his job, being an overseer, or maybe Asheville Smith replaced him. But I know that he did write to Asheville Smith after the fact and letting him know, like, hey, this is how your plantation is being ran, and it's not right. I don't like it, and I'm telling you. And it just seems like to me that he wanted this land. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was just a really greedy person,
I think he's
and
real hard ass, and he
right.
probably had some sort of restrictions on how he did things there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too stimulates probably from his childhood, because he was from Virginia, and his father was a minister, and I think his mother was, like, really, really strict. So, I mean, it could be like a Norman Bates thing. Who
It
knows?
could be,
You
yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Very true.
But and he knows the Bible from point A to point B. So what he does is he gets into people's minds, you know, and he finds their weak spots. So he goes and he attacks people who have some type of addiction, like to drinking, to drugs, to other things that he can control. And when he can put things in your minds where you shouldn't
You're
live,
vulnerable enough,
then
yeah.
people start taking their own lives, and that has happened. Several people have taken their lives at Bay Oaks Harbor. One lady, everything was fine, with her, but all these people have taken their lives had some type of drug addiction. They were struggling with some type of addiction.
Yeah.
So the first woman who or that I remember, who took her life, she was living in the RV park. The RV park is right by the subdivision, which was a part of the plantation, and it was a part of Bay Oaks Harbor until they sold that piece of real estate. And from my understanding, this girl, she was a prostitute. She got herself cleaned up. She met this guy, and she was a prostitute in New York. He got her cleaned up, brought her here to Texas, and then everything was good. She was clean. She had a job, and everything was good. And then just one morning, she got up at 3 a.m. in the morning, got a gun, went outside in the middle of the yard where her RV was, and shot herself in the head right by the
There's
tree.
been a lot of crazy things that have happened out there. That one guy that opened fired on I don't know how many people,
Yes, Ron Welch.
and
Yeah,
then
When was
then
that?
on Evergreen Road, which is the road right
yeah.
off Tri-City Beach. I
Oh
don't like
yeah.
that road at all.
No, no, that road has a lot of bad history. From what was, like, told to me, just by people, who've lived here in Baytown for most of their lives, whose family dates back to the 1800s, of, like, with the slaves and all that, on Evergreen. So supposedly there's, like, this book, and I've never found it, and it's called, like, the shadows or whatever of Evergreen Hills, and it's about Evergreen, the plantation. you know
Interesting.
Yeah, and about just like the things that have happened and everything. But I can't find it. I can't find it at all.
Yeah, but
You
I'll have to look.
know?
Well, that's all if we look for it. We're gonna have to find it and do our research. We can
Yeah.
call maybe our buddy, the historian Victorian, or the Victorian historian, and see if he knows
But
anything about those
but
books.
at the same time too, it could be intentionally not released, or put away because of the context of
Yeah,
what it
maybe.
was mostly talking about. A lot of towns and all that, they don't want their dirty laundry aired, even if it's something that's unbelievable, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no, of course. But
Yeah,
people
and
are
some of
starting
the,
to air
and
their
that's like
laundry.
kind of, what do you call it? It's a little bit weird to talk about because so many people are still.
Yes, like the people that we are talking about, the ghostly apparitions and all that, their family members are still to this very day like part of the community, you know,
Oh
and so
yeah,
forth. So yeah, so of course, we have to kind of watch out what we say, but at the same time, it's like, it's history, I mean, like
Right.
I I look, it was never my it was never my thing to go and look, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
for what was going on the land. It found me, and then I was curious, and then that's when I found out about TB Gallard. That's when I found about all this stuff, and when I did, it just opened, a whole can of worms, so
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's totally crazy.
So
And
how
when
did you find the place in Bayo? How did you guys come to move into that area?
Okay, so this is what happened. We had a friend who lived over there. She still does, and so forth. And we were looking at that area. My mom passed away, and I got an inheritance. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like buy a home, flip it, sell it, move out and all that. I don't know what was going on. I don't know why I wanted to move there. Something just called me to move there. I don't know if it was because of the history of the land, but
Similar.
yeah,
Similar.
but the house they wanted 85, I think, 75 or 85,000, and I offered them only 50, and they didn't give me a counter offer, and I bought it for that much cash.
Jeez.
So something was up, and then come to find out a year later, the neighbor who used to live down the road from me, basically told me that the place was haunted, and it was attacking the man that was sleeping there. He had Parkinson's, and they would talk about how a shadow would be above his bed, and he couldn't move,
I
and
worry about
all this
Jimmy.
stuff. Yeah, I worry about Jimmy too. I did talk to him. I think it was day before yesterday or whatever. I messaged him. It's been a while. And I feel bad because I do want to go and see him and check up on him and everything, but it's just every time that I go to Bay Oaks
So
Harbor, I
weird.
bring something back, and it's just like, damn, I got to start all over again. I already got Ed. I already got Ed attached to me. Ed just won't leave me the hell alone. Like and Ed came from Bay Oaks Harbor. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hear him constantly, like, in the audio clips. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even I got him the other day. When I was trying to figure out what was waking me up. This chipper British dude. You know what I'm saying? So,
This
and
what?
yeah, this
the guy
chipper
with a British
British.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too, because there's a British guy that was over at Bay Oaks Harbor that um these neighbors, ex-neighbors, were talking to, and they would talk to this dude for 5 hours on an ITC device. I'm like, dude, look, don't get buddies with these spirits, because I'm telling you, they're bad. They're not good. They get into your head, but they don't
yeah.
want to listen, and the thing about that neighborhood too, there is a high, you know, how can I say, like, there's a high statistics of sex offenders that live in that neighborhood.
Dude, I
You
cannot
know?
believe
Yeah,
how
yeah,
That's
many.
crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that children in the past were raped, were tortured, you know what I'm saying? Were
So it's like,
molested,
the
you
same
know?
energy kind of like, I don't know.
Yes.
Ugh,
And I do feel that that nastiness, that pervertedness do jump into men predominantly in
yeah,
in that neighborhood and give them thoughts that maybe has never crossed their mind. You know what I'm saying?
right.
His name is TB Thomas Benjamin. If that's the one that you're talking about,
It's so
he
weird because the house that we just moved into is an old 1930s house and it looks haunted, right? It's got all
yeah,
its feelers and stuff, but I was telling her, I was like, dude, like, I'm right here at Gaylord Street. And it's
Hmm.
just weird how there's always like all these things that kind of tie into one another.
No, it's very interesting. Oh, where'd she go? So my phone died on me halfway. I had to plug it in, and then
Oh,
I plugged it back in. I don't know what happened. Now it shows them at 41%. It was weird. But when we were talking, my battery just drained. I don't know what happened.
is that when
So
you
now,
disappeared on us there for a second?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm at the Columbia State Fair. Well, I'm in the South Carolina State Fair in Columbia, South
Uh-huh.
Carolina. So we have a booth out here, and yeah. So sneaking away and
Sneaking
getting
away
on
to
a
do the
podcast.
podcast.
Oh yeah, but you guys have a history together. No, I don't. So I'm just an outsider listening now. But it's interesting listening to both of you with your stories and what you're talking about and how interesting it is and how Baytown is. And I hear about is it Gaston that you have near you or
oh
Baytown and oh
Galveston.
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 Yeah.
Galveston, yeah. So I hear about all these towns in parts of the community because Chris and I we talk often, more than probably most people. But we're always
Yeah.
talking about like neighborhood stuff and marketing ideas and campaign ideas. And just because I mean I'm in sales, Chris is in sales. We're trying to figure out our gourmet snack line and get our company going and getting that boosted up there. But demographics and who buys what and who likes what, it's we've been
Yeah.
talking about it for a long time, and it's so it feels like I know these areas, but I've never been there.
Never been
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
No.
We got a lot of paranormal haunted, like big locations, all of Galveston,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
there's been so much stuff that is like the storms, the hurricanes, all the things that have happened in Galveston. And then you come on up towards, because we're about what, 30-45 minutes away from Galveston.
We're about an
Well, what's
hour.
the
We're about an hour and 6 minutes away from
If she's
Galveston.
driving, if
so
I'm
who's the
driving,
nearest? What's the nearest city?
um,
Houston.
Nearest
Houston.
major city? Okay,
Houston.
Houston. All
Yeah.
right, so you guys are outside
So
of Houston. All right, that makes
like
more
from
sense.
okay, like so from Bay Oaks Harbor, if you go to the end of the island, Bay Oaks Harbor, you can actually see Galveston all the way on the other side.
Right.
But
Oh,
you have
okay,
to
through the
drive.
harbor. Yeah,
Yeah, but you have to drive all the way down the coastline to get to it.
Yep.
yeah. That's how. Okay, so that's I mean that's nice. I don't know if you've ever been to Niagara Falls or in Buffalo, New York,
Yes, I've been in
but those
Niagara
are areas I've been to. Yeah. So I mean that's where I live. I come from that area. Yeah.
New York. I've never been there.
Yeah.
Actually,
But
maybe
not New York
no.
City. Yep, you can't think New York City. You have to think, Buffalo country. Where
Yeah,
the city is Buffalo, but
just just
you know,
just
it's,
think of Texas. Just think of Texas. In East Texas.
well, it's kind
Just
of
a
like
lot of.
Cleveland. It's very similar to Cleveland. It's very similar to. I mean, Pittsburgh is way different. I mean, I don't know how do you explain Buffalo. It's just amazing. It's
Okay,
between
so
two
this.
Great Lakes.
Okay, so this is what I thought of Buffalo when I was there several years ago. Okay, it just reminds me of just another side of a country, like rural area. You know, like
Yeah, the city's nice. The city's a
like
city,
like
but then
like
like the
Texas.
suburbs are
You
like
know,
the TV suburbs you see. So like TV neighborhoods, like everything has nice communities. And then if you go a little bit farther out, like me, I'm 45 minutes out from Buffalo in Akron, New York. I'm out past Lockport. So we have what they call the famous Lockport locks. You learn about it in school. It's the different elevation of water for the Erie Canal. So that famous Erie Canal that,
cool.
that they built that goes from the river to the Hudson, so you can actually go to the ocean through the channels, through all those channels if you needed to. But it's kind of neat though, because in the Lockport locks have a lot of history. There's a lot of haunted things near us. A lot of amazing opportunities to do haunts. So many cool things, and I think I mean, it's
Have
neat
you
because
been
there's.
investigating anywhere?
Oh yeah, we've been investigating all over the place. I
I'm
mean,
sorry, is it me or my light behind me keeps going on and off?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it does dim. I saw it dim. Maybe it's just changing like colors. Yeah. See it going a little brighter, a little dimmer, a little brighter.
Yeah, I
It's kind
saw
of
that.
neat.
Hey
There it
guys, I'm
is.
sorry I have my mic off. Like
Nothing new.
my dog is like barking in the
I
background,
can
and
hear the dog. I can hear the dog.
and Ouija's bark is like really piercing. So I don't want to
Yeah.
kill people, you know. So yeah, if you see me with my with it off, that's why. So
Yeah. No problem.
and then I had
Yeah.
to tell my kid. That's why I kind of jumped off a little bit. I had to tell my kid to like turn down the freaking Christmas music, okay? Because like it was blaring
Christmas
in the
music.
background. Well, like he knows I look, dude. He knows I do like streaming live, you know. And so at the
Okay.
very end, most of the time, he'll do something really dumb. Like I think what stream before last or whatever. I didn't know he was behind me, and he had his shirt off, and he was just doing his nipples, like going back and forth. And I'm like, dude, and I didn't even know, like, I didn't even catch him, you know?
Yep.
So,
It's not TV appropriate, but we're not on TV. We're on the radio, so we're good.
How
yeah,
old is he now?
he's 15,
Yeah,
What a
my
goofball.
going,
son's
going,
16.
going on 25. Yeah, it's,
Right. So
whew,
ready to grow
yeah.
up so fast.
Yeah,
And
but you
it's
know
like,
what? Like I don't know. I don't know if he's just like plateaued or whatever, but I mean, he wasn't making the best choices. Like I'm not gonna lie, my kid's bad. I
you
love him
wouldn't
though.
even let me meet
You
him.
know, I let you meet him. I let you meet him once
No.
because, like, you'll probably want
You're
to
like,
run him
he's
over,
bad.
like, because
Like,
like I
what?
look, okay, it's not like he's bad. He's very blunt. He lacks
Oh
empathy.
yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
I've
he's
heard it in the
autistic.
background. I mean, this
Yeah.
he almost feel it almost feels like whenever we're on for like anything work related or if we're talking something, he'll just find a way to annoy Chris or he'll find a way to get under Chris's skin. And I don't mean to chuckle, but I
Yes.
do. I sit back, I chuckle, because I mean I have kids too. We're on the same age, and they don't bother me if I'm on podcasts. They don't bother me if I'm on this or that. But there's other times where I wish things went a little smoother, here and there.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
get
mean,
it.
it's funny because there's times that Dave and I are on the phone, so I'll hear Dave's kid talk shit to him, and then
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then my kid says the same shit to me, and I'm like, Dave, and then and he's like, let me call you back, and then
Oh
it'll be
yeah.
the same way too. We'll be talking about business, and Aiden's being a little booty hole, and I'm like, dude, let me call you back,
Yep.
so but he's gotten a
We've
lot
had
better.
some family drama.
Yes, yes, yes. But he's a teenager.
So let me ask real quick while we still have some time because we have what do we have? 5 minutes left? 15 minutes? What do we have?
We have
What's our
15
countdown?
minutes. We have
All right.
actually we have 13 minutes left.
All right. All right. So let's talk about future ideas, future like things we want to do. What do you guys want to do for like a follow up to this great adventure of yours? This whatever you guys filmed. What's your next thing? What's your follow up to it?
Okay, so what I have a lot of footage. Not just with Brooke and I, but just with Bay Oaks Harbor,
No, I
especially
just
with
mean, yeah, I don't just mean specifically the harbor. I meant the stuff that you did with Brooke. Are you going to try to do something and create something with that, or?
I'm now since I have a little bit of time.
Yep.
I'm looking at it, seeing like what we got and so forth like that. It's my thing is just the time factor. I really don't have much time. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, so and I have tons of footage. I have like 6 years worth of
Well, I just
footage.
wanted to start doing like
Like
little shorts. You know what I mean? Like a short, like little,
right.
maybe not
I,
like a
I have
full
so
like.
much footage too. I've just never done anything with it.
Now the
have you
kids
Right.
met
call them
Brooke?
vines, right? Is that what they say? Like little vines and little short
Yeah.
stories. But
Or
these little
You
short
know what? I
stories
haven't
from
heard
all over the country. one of my favorite short stories all over the country is Drunken History, where everybody gets shit faced and then you tell each other, your
Yeah.
perception of history. And I would love to try to
Cool.
copy that somehow without copy infringement, but maybe do like
That's cool.
drunken hauntings. So like
Oh
at
my
11 o'clock.
god, such a good
Yeah.
idea.
So yeah, but I don't want anybody to steal it. You heard it
Well,
first on me and
well,
Chris. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, look, man, I've been thinking
we
about,
want to do it.
yeah, I've been thinking about doing some stuff like that, like doing
That would be
Yeah.
voiceovers
hilarious. That would be
and
so
all
funny.
that. I mean,
Well,
because I've
because
been doing.
the one Oh, I'm sorry. The one
No, no,
show
go
that I
ahead.
know that you and I want to do, the one show that you and I want to do, Chris, is our Mr. Mustachio's Gourmet Snacks presents A Haunted America, The Stories Untold, where we go off, you and I go off and we do an actual haunt with each paranormal group. And then
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock, whether it's a bus, whether it's a horse carriage and buggy, something's going to pick us all up and take us to a bonfire or even just a controlled fire near a cemetery and do an actual haunt or do an actual walk. But I think we ought to do it. I think we should all get shit faced and then tell our ghost stories at the haunted cemeteries. You know,
That would
hey, I
be
think it would be great.
that's brilliant. Actually, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Yeah,
All right.
most definitely.
So anybody
So,
who
yeah,
wants to be in the first couple episodes, let's do it.
yeah, I think it's cool. Especially if we get permission. Like, especially over here, we have. In some places you have to get permission to do it. But you know
Oh
what I
yeah,
would.
of course, of
But you know what
course.
I would like to do though, Brooke? I would really like to do like a ghost hunt over at the San Jacinto Battleground. You know,
Yeah.
wasn't like $400.
I think it was like 250.
Really? Okay, cool. Because if we can, grab some people, and then
The
divide
monument.
it. Yeah, yeah, we can actually do that and do a Mr. Mustachios. I mean, that place is haunted though. I mean,
Yeah.
Brooke and I went there. We had no problem even in the broad daylight getting intelligent communication,
Yeah.
so it's
Well, I just think
yeah,
it'll be fun content too because it's not your normal show. It's not your normal ideas. It's not your normal concepts. With me and you as hosting it, however we want to do it, it's just fun because there's so many amazing ideas and creative things. And I've been reading all these different books all over the country of it's kind of like Jay Leno and What's in Your Garage. Well, great. What's in your backyard? Tell us your ghost story. What was your favorite ghost story when you were a child? Let's talk about it around a campfire and let's go for a haunt at a cemetery. So we're not scared enough as it is. Let's make it even creepier
but
and
also
do cemeteries all over the place.
but also too, like, at a location, I would like
Yeah,
to have
at a
I would like to
location.
have it too where it has some historical foundation, to make
Oh
the
yeah,
story.
absolutely,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like,
I
I think
love
that'd be
history.
cool.
Yeah, I think so.
I would love to do, and I haven't been there, but here in Texas we have the Port Lavaca jail, and so I would love to do a ghost hunt there.
Yeah, and even here in Buffalo, there's so many different things like the Insane Asylum, or the old Insane Asylum, or the old Buffalo, the transit train station, downtown Buffalo. But so many
That
people are
sounds
already
fun.
doing those places, and but they're missing things like. So there's a group of friends that invited me to the Warren House, and we're doing a haunt in January. So we divided it all up over how much money it would cost to do this haunt. We can't film there. You're not allowed to take photos and film,
Right.
but you can have the experience of going there and using their equipment and doing a true haunt. And I'm trying to get them to break their rules and let us do a Mr. Mustachios presents, and do a location at their place. But we'd be bending all their rules, right? So I'm in negotiations working on it. And all I could think of was like if we have destinations and there's 6 or 7 people splitting that bill, these haunts are really only 200-300 bucks for a weekend getaway, depending on how far you're willing to drive.
Right, and see, in Texas, I mean, we really have like some really cool
We
haunted
have
places here.
everything like right
Yeah,
here. Right
yeah,
here.
like in
Yeah, same
Houston
here. But
and
everywhere
Austin.
America, it's not just in Houston or Texas. It's everywhere America. So think about that. Even though that your backyard is where you are, my backyard is where I am. There's tons of places there, but we still have a whole country to
Right.
find awesome, great locations that are neat and
No,
different.
no, absolutely. But at the same time, too, at least we know where we can get started, and you know,
Yes. Yep. Right
get
in the
that content.
backyards.
Yeah, because the cool thing about like over here, like we still have missions, from like the 1600s and all that. And like one I would love to go to is Goliad, to that mission down there, because I heard that it's notoriously haunted and all that. And people have said that they have seen like residual energy of fights going on and so forth like that from the war. So I think that would be like totally awesome. But yeah, I'm open going anywhere, across the United States, to do haunts and
Yeah.
everything like that and all that. My thing is like it's just been so peaceful for me because I haven't really been dedicating myself like, to the paranormal or to the spiritual realm, and it's kind of relaxing. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I like
No,
it a
that's
lot,
awesome.
you know. Um, but at the same time, when I get woken up by a chipper man saying "help me,"
Oh, crazy. Hey, I'm
yeah.
really sorry to do this to you girls. My guys are out of the fair. The fair just ended,
All right,
and
man.
these
Hey,
It
guys
was
want me to
nice to
take them
meet you,
home.
Dave.
yeah,
Have a
Yeah, it
good
was awesome
rest of
meeting
your
you both.
evening.
yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming on. I appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me.
All right, I'll see
It
you
was,
next week.
See you
I'll
later.
talk to you both soon.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, so Brooke, we've known each other for like 3 years. It don't seem like it's been that long.
3 years.
3 years. Wow. Wow. And
I don't fight with anybody else like I fight with you.
no, no. That's because you love me. That's why. That's
We
just
still talk.
we still talk. Yeah. I mean, we
It's our
are
thing. We have so many like brilliant ideas that we wear ourselves out before we even can like get the ideas off the ground. If that
no,
makes sense.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But since you moved out, like of Bay Oaks Harbor, how has it been now? I mean, do you look at things like, wow, I didn't really see that until, now I see more than I did like when I was there.
Oh, like for real. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of shaken me to my core a little bit on how I viewed like in terms of me feeling like I can judge things correctly, right? Or
Right.
perceive things correctly. Um, for the longest time, I didn't want to believe that maybe something was could be blinding me to certain things.
Right.
And a lot of people were telling me about that, or telling me that. You were telling me that. But once I left, it just felt like I could see again. It's so much lighter. Like I don't even here at this house, I won't turn the spirit box on. I won't.
Yeah.
I'm just because I'm so cautious of
Right.
that coming back or allowing that back in because right before we moved out of that place, I mean, it got really bad. Um, I would go through like these horrible spells of depression. And it's like one day I stayed in bed for 4 days straight and it felt like my bones hurt. That's how depressed I was. And it was like having to climb out of a dark hole. And
Yeah, and that's how it gets to you. That's
it
ex-
does.
that's what it did to me. Like I would walk in, and then I would, pass the threshold in my house, and then I would just want to go in a deep sleep,
Right.
and it took me everything. Like, I was so excited to remodel that house, and it just took everything out of me to do so.
Mm,
I like, and I would sleep like the best sleep that I've probably ever had was at that blue house because it would suck the energy out of me, where I just
yeah.
felt in this deep sleep and this like deep depression, and there were
Even
times
my
too.
lives, I don't know. I mean, I already exert a lot of my energy when I do
Yeah,
readings, but I
right,
couldn't. I mean, I was lucky if I could stay live for an hour.
right.
It
Yeah,
was just like constantly getting zapped
yeah,
nonstop.
and what it was doing, it was breaking us down. You
Yeah,
know, like when I look at the footage that I took for the last past 3 years of living in Bay Oaks Harbor, and I put everything together, I was just like, I was like, wow, I lived through that. Like you hear these spirits telling me, stop, stop, leave, get out.
right.
And it wasn't like the it wasn't the evil ones. It was the ones that we're trying to protect, and
Yeah.
family members and all that saying like, get out of this area. It is not good for you. you know,
Right.
and yeah, and I feel a total change, and I really felt it when I moved to Austin. When I came back, and then when I stepped back on that on that soil over there, I just feel like
In
that's
that
where it
world
kind of
of, I feel
yeah,
like it's
that's
its own world within itself.
yeah, it just started manifesting, and then it's just like now until I officially move out of this town, you know, then I feel like it will leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? My life will be so much better, if I was not here, because
But
I feel that
would
it,
it
it was
though? Because I feel like spirits everywhere, all the time. I think I think somebody
oh yeah,
needed to
no
investigate
doubt.
the energy over there, but we probably had it way worse than many people ever that have lived there or do live there because we were the ones that kind of dove into it and
Right.
wanted to know more. So I don't know. It's just
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And and the lady that committed suicide, there was a lady that lived across, and 6 months later, she tried her life too. Something hit the pistol out of her hand and pulled it to the side and through the RV and missed her head. So,
so
but
you
thank
know
you,
that.
Brooke, for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you. And
Thanks
next
for
up is
having me.
going to be Nathaniel Elwell. I'm sorry. Ed,
I can't hear you. Sorry.
You're glitching, Chris.
thanks for having you. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, Sean. We're getting off.
All righty.
Yeah.
Everybody have a
Yeah.
great
So
night.
thank you so much, Brooke.
Bye guys. Thanks for having me.
Before I go to band practice.